it just called to me. Something about the rhythm, pounding on the bag, seeing all the bodies in motion, and it was like finding life again. I said, I'm gonna give it 30 days and just see what happens. That was the beginning of my journey into this sport. I started boxing 18 years ago. I was obese my whole life. The moment when I realized I had to make a change was a doctor's visit at like 31 at 220 pounds, and the doctor's like, you're gonna die before you're 40. It's like you're at risk for heart disease, you're at risk for diabetes, like all the things. I decided that I was going to start searching for something that made me want more for myself. When I started boxing, I just realized how much my spirit was changing. I no longer felt as sad as I was. I no longer felt as defeated. I was interested in something that made me feel something. And I feel like, wait a second, I'm a sponge. I want to learn everything that I can in this sport because it makes me feel so good. So 18 years ago, there were no, boutique boxing gyms. There were just there was Gleason's, there was Kingsway, which is where I started training. There were those gyms where there were no women. I had to earn respect in order to be able to not have to fight for a bag. I would hear things like, you don't belong on the floor with us. Women don't hold mitts. Like, what are you doing here? You should be home in the kitchen. Like, these guys would say things like this to me. You're supposed to be home having my baby. You're not supposed to be standing here next to me holding mitts. I understand in your mind, in your world, everything may be about you, but me being here trying to basically fight for my life and my sanity, it has absolutely nothing to do with you. And that was just me coming in as a client, trying to learn how to box and train and work through my stuff. It was another level that I basically had to, overcome when I started training people.
30 seconds, ladies, let's go. 1, 2, 1, 2, non-stop to the ground, let's go. 6 more minutes, let's go.
I knew I had to fight for that space to be comfortable and for that space to be safe for them before I could bring them into it. So I had to fight with everybody several times. I started actually with 2 women on a Saturday. I trained them for free. That turned into, hey, can we bring a couple of our friends? Absolutely. Think you could train us during the week? Absolutely. I never said no. That's how it started.
Margarita, let's go, let's go.
Kingsway Boxing Gym, it was a smaller gym, and I literally took that gym over. Like, I would have 30 women in that gym.
Nice and tight. Look at that opening. Look at that opening.
I was like, hey, there's something here. Like, I think that this is what I'm supposed to be doing. That's when I realized I needed to learn the culture and I needed to learn the business. So that's when I started volunteering at the gym. I was the water girl. I was the front desk girl. I would answer the phones. So I would leave my corporate job, making a very comfortable 6-figure salary, and I would go, pick up sweaty towels and clean the gym and clean the locker rooms. Until I finally was like, okay, I have to be all in, because this is where my heart is. So that's when I walked away from publishing, and I'm like, all right, let's do this. Let's do it.
Double leg hook. Hands up. Try not to drop and punch. Do not drop your arms and punch.
It took everything I had to open women's roller boxing. Everything I had. Mentally, physically, financially. I had no idea what I was doing. So it was a lot of on-the-job training. The East Harlem community, they were so excited, because they have the boys club, and they were talking about all the different, programs that they have for the boys, but nothing for the girls. So they were very, very excited when they heard about us coming in, and they were very eager. You know how we are in El Barrio, very aggressive, like, come on, like, my daughter's ready, like, I need you to get it together. It's like, okay.
Come on, Karina, let's go. Come on. Yes! Yes!
Encouragement from the community, it really, really did get me through on those trying nights where I'm like, I don't know. They were like, yes, you have to do this because we're waiting for you. So come on into the ring. That opening day, it was incredible.
Okay, are we all righties?
Felt like a dream come true.
Hands are up, good. And focus more on the legs and the feet as opposed to the hips, because that's a different class, okay? You're good, this is the most important thing. We need to get comfortable taking up more space. It's very important. We have a lot of, work to do up here to get comfortable with this.
We as women don't have many comfortable spaces. As soon as we leave, we are on high alert because we have to be.
This is our power, our legs, our hips. This is our power, okay? And I'm gonna teach you how to use that, so go slow.
Whether it's at the workplace, whether it's walking down the street, we rarely walk around comfortable. So for me, creating a space where women know that they can walk in, and they can lower that guard, they can be comfortable, they don't have any worries at all. Only thing they have to worry about is if they're turning their punches over and if they're using their legs.
I started boxing, it's gotta be about 15 years now. There was a meetup group for boxing that coach was running. I went there, she had great energy, and I've been with her ever since.
Coach Reese, is someone that we can always look up to. Women's world of boxing, to me, is my path to well-being. This place gives me energy. It gives me confidence.
The women who come here, we're all here for the same thing. We're here to be comfortable. We're here to learn how to defend ourselves. We're here to uplift one another. We're here to be supportive. And that's everything. That's everything. When the pandemic hit, it shook me. When we had to close, it was the first time that I sat at that front desk and I cried like a baby because I felt helpless. I'm like, there's nothing I can do. What I knew to be my life and the place that I go to every day is now closed. The rent is still due. The bills are still due. My friends are getting sick. My friends are passing away. My friends are losing their businesses. All of this real stuff is happening. Until I just had a moment where I sat and I said, okay, what can I do with what I have? I gotta keep people together. I gotta keep our community together. I gotta keep myself together. Okay, let me get on Zoom and figure out how to do this Zoom.
High and low, 1, 1, 2, upper cross, hook cross, defense.
The positive was that I felt that people were more focused on their technique on Zoom, which I was like, okay, they don't have the bags to get distracted. I'm like, oh, they're like this. They were tight on Zoom. Like, okay, I'm not mad at this.
5 more seconds. 4,
on Zoom for a while. And then after that, I was like, no, we gotta get together. Like, I'm doing this tour. I'm gonna do a boxing tour. I'm hitting all the boroughs. Like,
let's do it!
I'll be in your neighborhood this weekend. I'm gonna hit Brooklyn and Queens on this day. Then this day we're gonna hit, just everywhere, Manhattan. And once I started doing that, it was like, okay, wait, there's that joy again. There's that connection again. Here's our community, it's still here and it's still strong. Here's hope. Here comes hope, And that really is what got me through. It was terrifying coming back. The last thing I ever wanted was for anyone to get sick here. I'm gonna do whatever I have to do to make sure this place is still here for us.
Guess who's reopening Saturday?
Downsizing the classes, adding more classes, cleaning more frequently than I was before, making sure, checking temps, making sure that everybody was okay. And then it was also too, adjusting to training with a mask. That's a whole nother layer, So it's like, okay, we can't go as hard because we've never trained wearing a mask before. It was really stressful and challenging. But at the same time, it was a blessing to be able to reopen and get back. It's what I do when I come in here every day. I turn these lights on and I give thanks that I'm still here, that this place is still here for the people, and that we were just gifted another day, because not everybody was.
Small drag,
The comeback is like crazy. I mean, we coming back so hard, like so hard. Like, It's really been incredible. Everybody is really just even more appreciative of just the time together, the time that they have, the work that they're putting in, you know, and still having this place.
5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, I see you.
And that's the part that brings me so much joy when people say, I'm so glad you're still here. New Yorkers, we can't be stopped. I really don't think so. We all were put on pause. We all had no control over it. And now it's go time. It's like we have no choice but to rise. And we're gonna rise together. We're here. Let's do this. Let's do this. Come on, everybody.